everybody, welcome back. It's the summer term, it's the first poetry challenge of the summer term, and well, here we are. 3 entries for the I Freshly, that was the last one I set before Easter. Really difficult one to do, really complicated rhyme scheme and syllable counts and things like that. Lots to keep track of, but 3 of you had a really good go at it. I'm really impressed. The first one is called Bad Bully, and it's by Alyssa in Year 5. He says that I'm punchable, according to the bully, but I am more wonderful. What he says is just woolly. In fact, it's an illusion. I'm smart and cool and fancy. More than you can imagine. In fact, I'm fancy schmancy. Because I'm wonderful, the bully can go quickly. He's the one who's punchable. Do one, bully. I'm ready. Bonus points, Alyssa, for use of the phrase do one in a poem. Excellent, I love it. Well done. And you also sent me pictures with your word bank and stuff like that, so it's clear that a lot of thought went into this. Brilliant. Sticks to the rhyme scheme, sticks to the syllable count. Great stuff. Hey. Next one, let's go with Jack in Rhinos. Really good. Yours is called The Speed of Light. A time machine explosion at speed that could be deadly. An alien invasion. Let us run and hide quickly. Moving very rapidly, feeling happy and hopeful. Space glowing up magically. I am happy and thoughtful. Well done, Jack. Another great one. Yeah, stuck to the rhyme scheme, stuck to the syllable count, and alien invasion. Yep. All 7 syllables. Great stuff. Well done. The last one, got to give some extra credit to, because you managed 2 verses with the same rhyme scheme, so you must have had a lot of words listed. It's from Grace in Meerkats, and it's really great. It's you know, this is a really difficult form to work within. You look like you've been really comfortable with it, and well, you see the results. This one's about Chelsea, Chelsea the football club, not some girl called Chelsea. Anyway, always to my amazement, the very mighty Chelsea. I'm sure we're in agreement, Chelsea make a blue city. There are many compliments, when watching I'm in heaven. They always win tournaments, Jess Carter, mighty 7. No match is a punishment, I'm sure you'll agree. They have the right equipment, I will always pay the fee. Well done, Grace. That's a top piece of work. And the fact that verse 1 and verse 3 have the same rhymes in them, that meant and e, that's great. And you even kept the meant going in verse 2, but swapped it out for heaven and 7. So really good piece of work. I'm really impressed. I find these really difficult to write sometimes. Not so much finding the words, but then making them fit what I'm actually trying to say. But you look like you've actually had a really good go at that. That's marvellous. Yeah, so right, that's the 3 I've got. They'll all go on the website and you can see those. If there's anybody else who wants to have a go at an I Freshly, just look back at challenge number 3 and all the instructions are in there. Challenge number 4, as it's the summer term, it's just started and just coming back, I decided to go a little bit easier on you in the first one, just as it's Monday as well. And so poetry challenge number 4 is acrostics. Right, now you probably all know what acrostics are, because you've probably all done them already in class at some point. It's a very easy form of poetry. I'll just remind you of the rules, just in case you have forgotten. In an acrostic, the first letter of each line spells out a word. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. There's no syllable restriction, so you can have as many syllables in the line as you want, and there is no rhyme, unless you want it to rhyme. If you want it to rhyme, brilliant. If you can, have a go at a rhyme, but if not, don't waste your time. See what I did there? Anyway, so there's no rhyme unless you want it to rhyme. It's just your choice. I'm going to give you another reason I've gone for an easy one, okay, because I want you to think more about what you're actually writing this week and not worry about syllable counts and things like that. I want you to worry about the emotion of the poem and what you're thinking. Right, because oftentimes we get wrapped up in the structure and forget about the fact that poetry is about thoughts and feelings and kind of really hanging things out there. So I'm going to give you 2 choices for your acrostic this week, and they're subjects that are very close to us right now. So something you're probably thinking about every day, something you're talking about, hearing about every day. So your 2 choices are either lockdown or social distancing. Now if you're in the infants or maybe year 3, you might want to go for lockdown, something a bit shorter. If you're in year 4, 5, 6, maybe go for social distancing, something a bit longer. So the first line, the first letter of each line that you write will spell out a word moving down. So lockdown. What lines you have will just start with that letter. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. If you haven't already seen it, you've probably already seen these. My advice is to start by just thinking about all your thoughts and feelings to do with whatever your subject is, right? Okay, think about them and just have a blank piece of paper and just write down random words and phrases, the first things that pop into your head when you think about this, the first kind of emotions that pop into your head. Just jot them all down. Write loads of gobbledygook on the page, and then what you do is have a look at it and separate out the stuff that you think, oh, actually, yeah, I could use that. That looks good. Don't like that. Cross it out. But I'm going to use these. I'm going to use that. Maybe pick out a word that you like, but think, oh, okay, I want to use that word, but I don't have a letter that fits it. But how could I make it fit by either thinking up a synonym for the word or putting it inside a sentence that contains it? So, thinking about this, I would rather, I'm going to put a little caveat there, I would rather not have just an acrostic where each line is just one word, right? Like lonely, obstinate, careful. Let's really tap into things and try and come up with a bit more content. Yeah, a bit more punch, right? I'll show you what I came up with. I picked the social distancing one. I didn't want to fill your head with my ideas, so I only did the word social, just the word social. This came to me. I just started thinking about my father-in-law. My wife every Thursday goes out and does the food shopping for him because he and his wife are in their 70s and they can't get out. So she goes, does the food shopping, and then he comes over to us and collects it. And he has to talk to my son through the front window. He just hangs around on the drive and talks to us through the window for a few minutes. And yeah, because he can't really come into the house, and that's very different. And I thought about how my son might respond to that. So this is what I came up with: separated by glass, ordinary life suspended, can't wrap him up in a warm embrace, alone at the end of each day, left to yearn for release. Alright, now some of that came from me, some of that came from just from the ether. Alone at the end of the day. We're not alone at the end of the day. I just decided to go a bit more morose at the end. So that's it. So the first letter forms a word, social, and each line is a kind of comment about these times, this strange kind of period in history we're moving through at the minute. And it'll be nice to look back on these and make some kind of display out of them. So yeah, that's your challenge for this week. Up till Thursday, because Thursday there'll be another one. So remember, you can have either lockdown or social distancing, and I'd like to see your acrostics and really put some thought into them. My advice: come up with that word bank, come up with your feelings, dive into them, and again, you've got a few days, so don't be afraid to write something down and then just leave it for a day and come back to it and see how you feel. Okay, poetry isn't something that should be done quickly. It's something that you should do and then step away from, then come back to and think, is that really what I mean? Is that the best way of saying this? Alright, so that's your first poetry challenge of the summer term. And that's about me done. Just one more thing to say, and that's thank you for all the pictures that you sent in for our slideshow for the website. That's up on the website now. I think I had 64 or 65 people email in pictures. Just to keep it fair, I only used one of the pictures that you sent in, so there weren't 5 pictures of one child and one of another. So all those that slideshow's on the website now. There's also a video on the website from a lot of the staff members in the school to say hello and wish you a happy Easter. You can see that by going to the school website. And just to say, there were a couple of people who sent in pictures after I'd already finished doing the slideshow. Don't worry about that, I'll keep hold of those pictures, and when I make another slideshow in a couple of weeks I'll make sure they're included in that, so you won't get left out forever. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Have fun writing your lockdown acrostics, and I'll see you again on Thursday for another poetry challenge. Hang on a sec. Wow, come and say hello. Look, say hello. You're famous. Eh? Not happy. He can go out whenever he wants. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and bye.